telephone painting in your life, you could put it anywhere where you think that there's grief or suffering. So it's like, this one wants to be displayed. We had a bit of a rapé still on there. We're just raining rapé around here lately. And that's good, because ayahuasca, this represents ayahuasca. Two of the people in this room I met during an ayahuasca drawl in Peru. And that was really epic for me. So while we were doing so much ayahuasca every second day for a week, 10 days, I kept seeing this image, like this exact image. Not these guys, I didn't see those. I saw this constantly, even the next day when we weren't with the medicine as much. But of course she's pumping through your bones, in your blood, in your heart, in your eyes, teaching you, showing you I have to cut through the shadow to show you your beauty. And it's hard. Oh man. So she just anchored in again. So it was, and for you as well, since you are all meditating on this, even the cameraman, I can feel it zapping you. So, shoom, zap. And ayahuasca goes, hey man, everyone thinks, not everyone, but sometimes people think she's a cruel goddess, right? Because it's really hard to sit and hold space with yourself in a room of people when you have so much. And sometimes I've done it where I've drank too much for myself and I can't, it just rocks my socks. And she's screaming at us, you gotta anchor. You gotta know where you sit in your land, and we don't. So that's like the faulty, in my possession, in my own wealth of her. She's just showing me like, if you get this crap gone, then we can really start speaking with speed. And then this was an eye. I actually didn't realize it until yesterday when I finally received this painting. Although you guys had been receiving the painting all week, walking up to it like, wow, that's looking so good. And I was like, does it? I don't know yet. I think so. But this is an eye. So if you kind of like gaze at it in a way that you're like not really looking at it, but you are, you know, like with those paintings that turn into something else, do that if you can. If you have the brain to. Sometimes I don't, but it just moves. So there's an eye for ayahuasca. It's like that's the pupil. And it's kind of like, it just has that sound effect to me, like it just wants to go from the sky up to heavens or whatever. You know, I'm just kind of saying it like that, but you know, whatever it is for you, like the stars. Straight all the way through your body. And you guys are kind of joking, like, kind of looks like a head and arms. Well, it is. Totally is. And it's also that, the anchor up to the sky. This also represents wisdom, and may it hold you. So this is the eye of knowledge. You can see everything. When your pineal gland opens and you just have that clarity moment, everyone's got it. Sometimes it's first thing in the morning, or like after a big headache goes away and you're like, oh fuck, there's my clarity back. So that's that eye of clarity and knowing. That's your backdrop. No matter how much shadow you evolve through, you'll always go back to your purity. It just is, that's just the way it is in humanity, and that's our grace. But wisdom can really recollect you to the fact that plant medicines can help you. Like wisdom is like, take the plant medicine if you can't remember yourself. That's wisdom. Your heart's like, we need some plant medicine. Tam and I love rapé. I know a lot of us conjure a lot of different plant medicines and they're all wealthy. So not to have a preference at all, but to try whatever your will is. So plant medicines really give to us, even lemon in my water, ginger, peppermint tea, or like eat a flower, like eat something green. So there's a little green strip, might be kind of hard to see, but it's because it's kind of light, but that's about the greenery. And the yellow is about the light, the spirit, whatever you call it. I sometimes call it light. It's just like the happy place of love that loves you so much. Whatever, sometimes it's my dog, you know, or a hug. Because that's where spirit lives, in that hug. So orange is the toxicity, be gone. And the red is heart math again. So the heart sits between the shadow, which is the toxicity of the orange, even though orange is a freaking beautiful color, so no offense to orange, it's just, that's just like the symbol of it in this moment. But I love orange. Orange is actually my favorite color. So I was like, what? Toxicity is represented by orange? How could you do that? But it's not blasphemous. It's just, that's what it is right now for a picture. Because I can't do it brown or else the painting isn't beautiful. Even though brown's a good color, but not for this. So you get my meaning? What I'm trying to say is what matches. Like what matches for you doesn't match for everyone. And so that's tolerance. And that's really beautiful. So spirit, like whatever they're saying, you know, like you shouldn't be doing this because that's not God. That's not true. If you actually get to your spirit realm, which is your soul is going, what do you want to do with that? Yes, and. So people are canceling people's dreams out for reasons that make no sense when you get close to it. Why is this not good? Why should I be an accountant instead of a painter? That doesn't make any sense to your soul. And so people are trying to get into places by accident, thinking that the world judges them, but they don't actually care. And that's the point. Nobody actually cares. There's rules. You shouldn't be doing that, or else whatever's going to happen, you're going to go to hell. That's just not true. Like, maybe it is true if you believe it, though. It could be true. But I'm saying ayahuasca is probably never saying that. And so there's just a question. It's more of a question. Is that true? We're not sure. But probably not. Because is there really any rules in this world? When you go out into nature, when you go up the mountain, is it like, oh, make sure you step not on grass? Not really. So if you think about nature's rules. So on that point, rules are healthy to a certain degree, of course, in institution and stuff. With like taxes, like those are good rules, as long as we do it well. But let's just like have rules that are healthy and talk about them. And not just put a wall up. Here's my rule. We can't talk about that though. That's just like, that's a wall. And so may you not have that within yourselves. That you find a dance between how the world is, like how the world actually just is all the time. You can't change the fact that you have to drive to downtown Calgary and that there's a stop sign or a stoplight. Those are just parts of life. But how can you laugh in between that? Is the softer note of that. So I wasn't trying to say that rules are bad or that hell is wrong. Because there is that. It does exist in our own minds and stuff. And perhaps beyond the other realm. You know, maybe they are right. It's true. But it doesn't have to be true for me. That's what I found. So it's just freedom within the possibility. Because if there's all these different beliefs and religions, then shouldn't we honor them and not have to? Like, if that's not my belief, I don't have to. And what I'm even trying to say is possibly everyone has their own world. Like, you exist in your own world around someone else who exists in their own world right in the same house. And that should be okay. Because then you're allowed to be whoever you want all the time. And somehow we can choose certain things that are good for everyone. So there's things in common and things that you don't have to have in common. Like, you guys weren't sitting around painting with me, but I don't care. But like, we all eat dinner and pay taxes, so we could talk about that or play a game. So I hope you understand that it's not about what is right, it's about what is right for you. So this is a big question mark to freedom to me. Like, yeah. Like, if you're like, I'm gonna go off the rocker in this religion, I'd be like, do it. That's so cool. Tell me all about it, but I'm not gonna come with you. But I'll honor it completely. So each of these pieces has a different meaning. This is wisdom again. Wisdom again. This is wisdom, but this is wisdom again. Seems like I'm just being lazy. Let's call it wisdom again. But it's different. It's your voice. So like a frog mouth that's wide open. You can speak your wisdom, and you should. So there's wisdom, like already inherent in the leaves, like the wisdom of the land, man. The wisdom of our forefathers, the wisdom of the cultures of previous. That was really big and beautiful. It has legacy. But then you got your own wisdom. Like, if you have a little kid and you're like, man, that kid's wise. What's he saying? You're curious, right? And it's not even about, is he right? Because in truth, there's no really right or wrong, I don't think, is kind of the point. It's like, that's just good, all of it. But little kids are like, the sky is actually purple. And you're like, I don't know if it is, but if you see it that way, maybe it is for you. And you just question that, like, well, I think it's blue. You think it's purple? Yeah, I think it's for sure purple. And you can't really argue a kid when they're telling you the sky's purple if they think it is. So I don't know, maybe it's purple. But anyway, the point is, it's about freedom. So this guy, it looks like a snake, but it's not one. It's just a zigzag. No, but it actually, it conjugates to when you want to get out of it. Like, for me with ayahuasca, there's always a point where I really want to get out of it. Like, there's such beautiful moments where she's teaching you, like, oh, but you're so awesome. Oh, but this just happened in your life and that's not your fault. And then there's the moment of pure hell, which I guess I just said there wasn't one, but I'm saying there is. It's just if someone tells me I'm going to hell, I don't want to hear that. for being myself. But I actually experienced it with ayahuasca, my own inner hell. That's kind of a harsh word, but it's kind of like, don't leave it, because it's actually not that bad. You just have to move through that pain. And if you stay, Tayama knows this well, like hold, and Barb does too, I know. You guys probably all know this. But this took me a long time to figure out though. Like I feel like I just figured out this year not to like crowd it out.